Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we prepare for the fifth race of the fifth season of the NCAA Duracell Cup Series here in the desert. We're here at ISM or Phoenix Raceway, whichever you want to call it, getting ready for what should be a very exciting race. This track in the past has given us some incredible action, and expecting no less here today, of course, as well, coming off the heels of couple of pretty exciting races if you think about it. Las Vegas was a very interesting race, and last week at Atlanta, maybe could easily say one of the strangest Atlanta races that I've ever seen, where you would expect that there could be a lot of room to be able to race, but no, these guys, they were literally door banging and leaning on each other. We had, I believe it was 10 cautions in last week's race, which is the most that we have had in any Duracell Cup Series race for a long period of time. Now, granted, we may have eclipsed that mark in previous seasons had we actually run a much longer race length during the course of the schedule. I think we're running about roughly 15 to 20% longer races this season than we have in the past. So that might make a difference in terms of the caution count, but nonetheless, it was easily I think maybe the most caution-filled race we've had in several seasons. And still brought about an exciting finish, though, with seeing Cole Baker picking up the victory. That team out of TCW Racing dead last in the points going into that race. They picked up a number of spots in the stands, which you will see in just a few moments coming into this one here today at ISM. But ISM is another track that is considered somewhat spacious because, of course, now the grass on the what was dubbed back straightaway back in the day, that's gone. There is now asphalt down there, plenty of runoff, and drivers are allowed to go down there should they so choose. It's a little risky for their entry into turn one, but there is that space for them to be able to race. Now, we said there was a lot of space to race last week at Atlanta, and we had a caution fest. So it'll be interesting to see what side of the spectrum, caution-filled or maybe green flag runs, we might see here today in Phoenix. The pole position for this one, though, is going to be Jose Mills. He'll be alongside of Nathan Ormond. Now, both of these teams actually performed pretty well last week with Jordan Lopez and James Qualls. The 38 team is now up to 21st in the point standings, though they are still looking for their first win. Same can be said for the 17 team, but James Qualls piloted that car to a top 10, and now they find themselves 11th in the point standings. So both Mills and Ormond out of the Ford stable, they will look to continue that momentum here today. They're going to have Keith Batson and Charles Belding making up row number 2 with them, and Trent Dunham is going to complete the top 5. Before we show you the starting lineup, let's take a look here real quickly at the point standings coming into this one, because it's very interesting because a lot of moving and shaking still going on here. So right now, Haas Racing still holds the point lead. They had a pretty decent run last week with Matt Haas, which helped keep them up there at the top of the point standings. Pigeon Racing, with Carson Gumbs' runner finished last week, is now up to second place, 6 points back. KB Racing Enterprises 93 has now dropped down to third, although they still have that win with William Micros, who we will see next week, I do believe. Yes, we will. No, actually, correction. He is in the field here today. Then you got the 55 team out of Gunther Motorsports. They're currently 12 points back, and Michael Norman Motorsports, the number 1 team, find themselves 16 points back from the points lead. Only 2 of our former race-winning teams are up inside of the top 10. You then have to go a little bit further back, where you will find the 77 team. Of course, Robert Crown Jr. winning at Las Vegas. They currently find themselves 15th because last week it was not a good run for the 77 car, and Patrick Smith, they finished, if I recall correctly, dead last in the Atlanta race. So they currently find themselves 15th in points, but still have that win, so they would be in a playoff spot as things count right now. And then the 11 team with Cole Baker's win last week, you find them now currently up to 22nd in points. So they jumped 5 spots in the standings, I believe it was, from 27th to 22nd coming into this race. Of course, you got the 95 team with Evans Gardner Motorsports. Cody Smart making his debut last week. A great run for him, but they've got to compile an awful lot of points here to be able to get themselves up there in the standings. We're going to see another debuting driver in the field here today in Sean Arndt in that number 95 car. Without further ado, though, let's go down trackside and let's get the command to fire the engines after the singing of today's national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Drivers, start your engines!
Command given. The pace car is going to roll off. He'll lead the field around with him, and we're going to give you your starting lineup here today at the ISM Raceway. Jose Mills on the front row with Nathan Ormond, as we mentioned. I said it was Keith Batson in the row 2 in the 39. That's incorrect. It would help if I looked at my notes. It's actually Daniel Bouchard in the 39 car, rolling off from 3rd place. 4th place is going to be Charles Belding with Trent Dunn completing the top 5. William Brock will start in 6th. Zach Rogers and Bruno Harumi in row 4. Row 5 finds Danny Wells and Tristan Allen. JT Bryant and Zachary Fitzwater, they're in row 6. Matt McIntyre and Stephen Colon in row 7. Row 8 finds Stephen Pollard III and Bradley Rhyme. Andrea Serra and Vince Almariego, they're in row 9. And completing the top 20 are Diego Yepes and RJ Bishop. Sean Art makes his debut here today in the 95. 21st is where he'll roll off from, alongside of last time out's winner at Las Vegas, William Micros. So actually, correction, that was Manassas. They'll be in 21st, 22nd. Anthony McCurry, Jessica Shelton in row 12. Chris Dollerton, Allie Rain in row 13. And bringing up the rear, Ryan Braumer and Dave Campos, the team points leader. Green flags in the air. Let's roll at Phoenix. Oh, sliding up back there already is JT Bryant in the 77. Contact Stephen Pollard III and Matt McIntyre, but they're going to make it at least out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway safely. Close contact back there between Matt McIntyre and Tristan Allen as they're 4 wide using the access of the dog leg. Daniel Bouchard going for the race lead on Jose Mills, and oh, we got a big hit in the wall. That's Trent Dunham, and I think that was Charles Belding. Dunham head on into the outside safer barrier as the caution is going to wave. Who's going to lead us back to the caution? Is it going to be Bouchard on the inside or Lopez, or make that Mills on the outside? And scoring says it was Daniel Bouchard. Now, Belding was one of 2 Arizona natives in the field here today. RJ Bishop the other. He was collected up in this, and there is Trent Dunham. Started this race from 5th. That team was 5th in the overall standings as well. And it looks like the Sega Chevrolet may not even make it past the 5th lap of this race as he is smoking, bringing it down to his pit stall. We'll see if this is the end of the road already for him. And indeed it is. That is a tough, tough break. I'm not sure where the other driver and all that is. There he is, Charles Belding. He's coming down pit lane now to get repairs done, but certainly not to the extent of what we saw for the damage on Trent Dunham's car. Let's take a look and see what happened. Obviously, the one car got hooked because he got sent up into that outside wall head on. And I'm going to assume Belding was the car to his outside. Let's see what happens here, because this was not the kind of wreck I was expecting to see, and certainly not in an area of the track I was expecting to see it. Yeah, it just looks like Belding was right on the right rear quarter panel of Trent And Trent was pushing up the track there. There's not a whole lot of banking over there in 1 and 2. And you will slide up about a half groove higher, and that's why the 3 wide and 4 wide is kind of treacherous. But it almost looks like... Let's see if we can look again. Let's get an aerial view. I'm pretty certain that probably Trent slit up the racetrack. Oh, you can see right there. Even with that aerial shot, the back end of the 1 was stepping out. And so that car was going to migrate up the track, and Belding had nowhere to go. He was just there. William Brock just barely going to squeak through. And watch Tristan Allen in the Twix Toyota. Does he get a piece of this? Yes, he does, with the right front. There was also a stack up behind them. It looked like Chris Dollerton may have run into the back of Diego Yepes, and in turn, he may have gotten a little shot from behind by Jessica Shelton. So we'll keep an eye on that, because sometimes even those innocent stack-ups, when there's damage to the front end of the race car, it can have some pretty drastic results. So it doesn't look like anybody came down pit lane, at least of the race leaders. So Daniel Bouchard will be the one to lead us back to green over Jose Mills, Zach Rogers, Nathan Ormond, and William Brock. That's the top 5. Danny Wells, JT Bryant, Stephen Pollard III, Andrea Saya, and Bruna Harumi. That's going to complete the top 10. A lot of chaos there in the first couple laps of this race, so let's cover a couple of top stories coming into this one. Of course, mentioned one of them already, that Charles Belding, RJ Bishop looking to win in front of their home crowd here in Arizona. Belding already a 3-time, I believe, winner in the Duracell Cup Series. RJ Bishop still looking for his first career win. Belding has returned back to the racetrack still in the lead lap. Trent Dunham is the only car out, and he will finish 28th here today at ISM. So the one team out of Michael Norman Motorsports is going to take a big hit in the point stands. The other story coming into this one is, can S3 Motorsports continue their dominance? In the last 4 seasons, S3 Motorsports has gone to victory lane a total of 3 times. From Season 1 to Season 3. Jessica Shelton in Season 1, Kyle Matthews Season 2, Charles Sanford in Season 3. There was a lot of speculation whether Cole Deaver could make it a perfect 4 for 4 last year, but Ryan Braumer had other thoughts, and so he is a defending winner of this race as well. Jessica Shelton is in the field here today. Right now, she is back in the 25th position. The other S3 Motorsports entry is Stephen Pollard III. So S3 Motorsports with the 03 and the 09 going to look to go 4 for 5 here at ISM in terms of putting one of their cars in victory lane. Now the 39 team out of KB Racing Enterprises, 17th in the overall standings as Daniel Bouchard leads us back to the green flag. And now with a single file restart, let's see if these drivers will be anxious to get back to double wide, 3 wide, or if we will get into a bit of a long green flag run. Oh, Nathan Ormond's going to get spun right up at the front of the field by William Brock. So that answers that question. Immediately under the caution again. That was a battle for the 4th spot. I think these guys may have been looking back at last week's Atlanta race in terms of how much room do you give, and nobody giving room here. Might have been a harmless spin, although there appears to be a little bit of front-end damage on the Burger King Ford, and I don't think Orman's going to be all that happy about that one. We're basically single file going there into 1 and 2, so I thought that they were all going to make it through safely, and now this is going to be the big question. Did William Brock push up into Orman's left rear quarter panel, or did Ormond get loose off of 2 and come down across the nose of the 48? Let's find out, as we are only 8 laps into this 81 lap marathon and already working our second caution of the day. Phoenix trying to see what it can do about beating Atlanta's caution total last week. Yeah, that was really just close racing there through 1 and 2, and might have been a mixture of both. 17 might have come down across the nose, 48 might have pushed up, but they were pretty much locked together, the right front of the 48 and the left rear of the 17. All the way through 1 and 2 for the most part there. Pretty harmless spin there for Nathan Orman, but it is difficult to work your way up through the field at a track that is so tire sensitive as ISM. So Orman, with all those spots lost, was 4th, now finds himself all the way back in 27th, and he's going to probably be relying on some pit strategy, maybe a few more cautions to get himself back up here towards the front of the field. We've had an interesting question in the chat here from Keith Batson, so I'm going to take the opportunity here under caution to explain it. How do the playoffs work if more than one driver gets in from the same car? So basically how that works is at this point in time, the 8, the 93, as well as the 11 and the 77, those teams are currently in the playoffs as things run right now. 10 teams will get into the playoffs. And so if, say for instance, here today, Tristan Allen, the 11, goes to victory lane off of Cole Baker's victory in the 11 car last week, that team would get credited for 2 wins on the season, and that would go towards the bonus points that the 11 team would get in the reformatted playoff points. Now, each driver is going to get a chance during each round of the playoffs to try and advance their team into the next round. There'll be 3 races in round 1, 3 races in round 2, and 3 races in round 3. Of course, our season finale. So each driver is going to get a chance to contribute in each round to try and not be eliminated. The elimination rounds will be taking place with 10 starting out. After 3 races, it'll be down to 7. After 3 more races, it'll be down to... It'll be 10 down to 8, then down to 6, and then down to 4 for our final 4 in the season finale. As things stand right now, if you're wondering what the playoffs would look like if the season had ended last week at Atlanta, you of course would have the 8, the 93, the 77, and the 11 all locked in through wins. The other 6 spots would go to the 19, the 55, the 1, the 27, the 65, and the 99 would actually be tied with the 03 of S3 Motorsports. I'm not really sure how that tiebreaker would have been worked out. Hopefully we don't have a tiebreaker for the final playoff spot, because I don't have any idea how the tiebreaker would take place. Well, Daniel Bouchard started this race from the 3rd position, got the lead from Jose Mills. Coming to our first caution, he has so far led 9 of the 10 laps completed. Jose Mills, the most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series, has led the other one as the green flag back in the air on lap 12. Wide back there. That's for around the 9th position. Can they all make it out of turn 2? Yes, they can. Mills putting the pressure on Daniel Bouchard for the race lead. Stephen Pollard III working his way up towards the front. Trying to make his way by JT Bryant for the 5th position. Mills getting a nice arc there into 1 and 2. He'll get to the inside of Danny Bouchard for the race lead. Drag race down the back straightaway into turn 3. A lot more banking here in 3 and 4, which is very helpful for that outside line. But Jose Mills back to the throttle, takes the top spot. Zach Rogers now with the door open, looking for 2nd place. See them already here sliding up the racetrack in 1 and 2. The longer the run goes on, the more frequent that's going to be. The tires are going to lose grip. I think the one saving grace for these drivers here today, you'll notice it's a little bit overcast, the track bathed in shadows. So with the sun not beating down on this racing surface for most of the day, it is going to help maybe a little bit in terms of grip and in terms of tire wear, but not a whole lot. Danny Wells, the Air Jordan NOS Energy Chevrolet out of Legend Racing. 16th in the overall point standings, and he's going to try and move into the podium, getting around Daniel Bouchard. A lot of teams, though, coming into this race that really, they don't need to hit the panic button, but they certainly need to do a lot better than what they're doing. As Bouchard, way up the track, was in no man's land there. We're looking at one of those drivers that is definitely in the need to finish well mode here today. That is going to be the 48 of William Brock and that team. They are currently 27th in the point standings, which theoretically, if we didn't put the debuting team last week, the third entry out of Evans Gardner Motorsports, in the mix, that would theoretically be dead last in points with the drivers that started this season at Daytona. Other teams that really need to get going are a lot of teams out of Pigeon Racing. The 6, the 31, and the 32 make up 24th through 26th in the point standings. Zach Rogers right now the highest of those three teams in the second spot. Battle on for the 5th position. Stephen Pollard III, Vince Almriego. Almriego is going to take the spot. Adrenaline Motorsports 19th in the overall standings. Jack Mitchell with a poor performance last week, and the caution flag is out for the third time today. Not sure where this one was, but it involved Ali Rain in the highpoint.com Chevrolet, apparently. Charles Belding back here again as well. We know he had right side damage from the incident with Trent Dunham in the first caution, so don't know if he was involved or not. No, this was out of turn 2. You see the smoke lingering there. And everybody's coming down pit road. I'm actually surprised we didn't see drivers down pit road under the first 2 cautions with just how much grip is being lost here on these tires, but apparently especially the leaders wanted to keep that track position. Let's go back and see what happened to Ali Rain as Jose Mills will look to lead the field back off pit lane as the race leader. Looks like Ali Rain caught up with the field pretty quickly, so she didn't lose a whole lot of time. And this was towards the back of the pack, actually. Ryan Braumer, the defending winner, is in this mix, along with Jessica Shelton. So a couple of former winners. Chris Dollerton is going to be the guilty party on this one. Getting into the left rear quarter panel of Ali Rain. Look out, Nathan Ormond coming into the mix as he runs into the back of Chris Dollerton. Oh, actually, turned Dollerton up into the wall a little bit there. And very similar to what happened to Ormond here under the last caution. Ali Rain goes around for a spin on the back straightaway, gets it going. Not a lot of damage there on that machine, so should be good to go, but a lot of track, well, I shouldn't say even a lot of track position loss, because Ali Rain was 24th when she crossed the line last time, so maybe lost 4 spots at most. Actually, 3 spots at most there. And brings out the caution for the 3rd time today. Another caution, so another opportunity to be able to answer some questions here in the chat. Don't be afraid to, chat it up there in the comments. I'll, under these cautions, interact with you guys for sure. Keith Batson asking if he wins and Daniel wins in round 1 and advance, then what happens? So basically, that would just be some more bonus points for the 39 car going into round 2. The driver lineup remains the same even in the playoffs, regardless of whether the team is a playoff contender or not. So even if, let's say, the 39 team wins all 3 races of round 1, then they would carry 5 wins, or 5 points per win for bonus points into the next round. But then the driving duties would go right back to driver number 1 in the first race of round 2, driver number 2 in second race of round 2, and then driver number 3 in the third race of round 2. So the driver lineups remain the same through the entirety of the playoffs. The drivers winning for their respective teams in the playoffs would determine how many points they would carry into the next round of the playoffs. The only round of the playoffs where race win bonus points don't carry over would, of course, be the final 4. And that would, of course, be the 3rd driver of each respective team that would basically be battling it out for the championship for their respective teammates and team number, car number. Alright, let's give you a lineup here, a full field rundown if we can, since we are now a quarter of the way through this race. Zach Rogers, as you see, won the battle off of pit road. Danny Wells will line up in second. Vince Almriego is 3rd, and 4th is Jose Mills, losing a number of spots there. 5th place is going to be Stephen Pollard III, William Brock 6th, JT Bryant 7th, Andrea Serra in 8th, Danny Bouchard back to 9th, and Bruno Harumi is 10th. Sean Art is up to 11th in his debut, Bradley Rhyme in 12th, Anthony McCurry 13th, 14th, Diego Yepes, Stephen Colon in 15th, 16th is William Micros, RJ Bishop 17th, Zachary Fitzwater 18th, 19th, Matt McIntyre, and 20th is Tristan Allen. Dave Campos runs at 21st, Ryan Braumer 22nd, 23rd, Jessica Shelton 24th, Nathan Orman 25th is Chris Dallerton, Allie Rain in 26th, and Charles Belding, 1 lap down, is in the 27th position. He'll be in the inside line for this restart. Only driver out of the race at this point. Trent Dunham in 28th place. Green flag back in the air on lap 23. Wow, nobody hit the apex that time into turn 1. And we got cars hitting pit lane. Zach Rogers and Jose Mills, I'm being told they were black flagged. Not certain what the reason was, but they were black flagged. It also appears that they're saying Danny Wells has been black flagged. We'll see if he's going to dive onto pit road this next time by. Oh, look out! Andrea Serra sliding up the track into William Brock. They keep it going, and look at this back here. Anthony McCurry in a hornet's nest. Bruno Harumi to the outside. Bradley Ream even higher. Diego Yepes in this mix. There's the debuting Sean Art, the Cricket Wireless number 95. Welcome to the Duracell Cup Series, rookie. Oh, look out! Diego Yepes sliding up into Sean Art. There's Danny Wells coming to pit lane to serve the penalty. Again, not certain what the penalties were for, but it looked like they may have been speeding on pit road, because it looked like the black flag penalties popped up on my telemetry after they left the pit lane. So that is a tough break for all 3 of those drivers. Pit road hitting some of our front runners, as this back here is making me nervous. Matt McIntyre now puts Daniel Bouchard in the middle. Bruno Harumi up on the top side. There's Jessica Shelton, the inaugural ISM winner back in Season 1, working her way on the inside line, just behind Matt McIntyre's 27. And now they're starting to lean on each other up here towards the front. JT Bryant, a little out of shape there off of turn 2, as they're all trying to make their way around the lap machine of Charles Belding, who appears to be up to speed. William Brock's completed the pass around him, so he's up to 3rd position behind Stephen Pollard III, who moved into the runner-up spot. Actually, correction, now Pollard the race leader, and Brock moving into 2nd. Vince Almriego in the 3rd position, and JT Bryant under fire for 4th. It's Anthony McCurry and Andrea Serra that are trying to get those positions away from him. Of course, the 77 team, a former winner this season with Robert Crown Jr. back at Las Vegas. We'll see Robert Crown Jr. back behind the wheel next week when the Duracell Cup Series rolls into the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway, the paved version of Bristol. That'll be next Saturday with the green flag scheduled to fly at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the battle for the lead is on. Stephen Pollard III had a bit of a gap between himself and William Brock, but that is now closed up. And Pollard's got his hands full with the Cinevis Banking Chevrolet out of Northeast Motorsports. How about Sean Art? We were singing the praises of Cody Smart in his debut last week. This team just formulated last week. And Sean Art up inside of the top 10, battling with Anthony McCurry. And there's William Micros, the guy who won the last time the secondary drivers got on track back at Manassas. And he has cracked the top 10, now up in 7th place, trying to take 6th from Anthony McCurry in the 55. How about Allie Rain? Nice comeback there for the 65 after she brought out the last caution, already up to 11th. So I guess my statement of it being difficult to pass here at Phoenix is not all that accurate, at least not right now. A lot of drivers that were towards the back are working their way to the front, Shelton and Allie Rain both. are up inside of the top 15. JT Bryant trying to get around Charles Belding. This is not for position. Belding currently 1 lap down in the 24th spot. He did pick up a couple of positions on Zach Rogers, Jose Mills, and Danny Wells, who are all also trapped -1 to the leaders after they had to come down and serve a pass-through penalty under green flag conditions. Sean Art gonna try and move by Belding. He's in the 4th spot, and William Micros right behind him as well. Just took the 5th position away from Vince Almriego. Well, William Brock is trying to do something that I don't think has ever happened in the Duracell Cup Series, and that is have a driver dead last in points go to victory lane in back-to-back weeks. Last week, Cole Baker and the 11 team, for all rights and purposes, they were dead last in points, and he put the 11 car in victory lane. Well, William Brock and that 48 team, they are dead last in the point standings coming into this one, if you don't count the 95 team. And Brock is looking to see if he can take advantage of the early season and pick up a number of spots in the standings with a victory. Trying to remember back to William Brock's last victory, and it's been so long I can't recall where it was. So there's definitely a winless streak, needless to say, for William Brock as a driver. Bradley Rhyme and the 74 car out of Lake Effect Autosport, working his way around Anthony McCrory. That's going to move him up to P7. 74 car was looking like it had a very good chance of going to victory lane last week at Atlanta with Phil Parker, before Parker kind of blocked Dylan Cote when they were racing back to the caution and found himself upside down on his roof on the apron of 1 and 2 for his troubles. As a result of that, too, 74 team is 23rd in the point standings. They really free fell through the points last week. Chevrolet versus Toyota for 3rd place. Sean Art and JT Bryant. Allie Rain looking on behind her teammate there, and I believe I just saw the caution lights on. No, I did not. Not sure what I thought I saw. Whatever I thought I saw, I didn't see. That is really tight through 1 and 2. That was about 2 formations of 3 wide with only 5 cars involved. And Allie Rain's going to take advantage. That 65 car is good on the long run. Well, now I'm not seeing things. That's definitely a yellow flag waving there in the flagman's hands. So we make it nearly to halfway, and the caution flag is out for the 4th time here at ISM. And wow, shocker, everyone's coming to pit lane. The longest green flag run we've had so far. Everybody is screaming for fresh Goodyears. And Tristan Allen is the reason for this yellow flag. The 11 car going to victory lane 1 week ago. 1 week later, it is all torn up. It doesn't matter if it's left Twix or right Twix. Both Twix bars are melted on that Toyota Camry. And I don't think he was the only one involved. That has all the looks of running into somebody and ripping the right front off of his machine. There's a good number of skid marks there on the back straightaway, so I believe this was a multi-car wreck. The question is, though, who were the other ones involved? There's damage on the front end of Chris Dollarton, so I believe you can put him on the list. Looking as they come down here through the front of pit road, and I don't see any other drivers with damage. I don't think it was just a 2-car incident. I think there were more drivers involved in that. William Brock won the battle off pit road, so he will lead us back to green over Pollard, Rain, Art, and it looks like Rhyme, the top 5. Let's go back and see what happened. Just past the halfway point, I believe RJ Bishop in the 2 might have also gotten a piece of whatever this was. And here it was towards the rear of the field again. Is that Zachary Fitzwater? Yeah, he's going to get Chris Dollerton. Sends him up into the outside wall, and then, bam! Nowhere for Tristan Allen to go. There's R.J. Bishop. That is Tristan's day done for sure. Dollerton, I think, is going to be off the pace. Not sure about the damage on the front of the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Ford of R.J. Bishop. And this caution does not, unfortunately, save those drivers that got trapped a lap down. They're still going to be -1 unless they decide to stay out. I don't know why they would, because I don't think any of them, when they came down to serve their penalty, I don't think that they took service. I think they just passed through. So 4th time today that the caution flag comes out. Another driver back in the garage area joining Trent Dunham, and that is going to be, no surprise, Tristan Allen in the 11 car. So that kills all the momentum that the 11 team had coming into this race off their first victory of the season last week. Interesting, up here, our top 4, all Chevrolet bow ties. Of course, Chevrolet is still looking for their first win on the season. As so far, Toyota has 3 victories and Ford has 1. That lone win, courtesy of William Micros. So we're going to have 4 machines, I believe, by my count, on the inside line here for this upcoming restart, all -1. Belding, Rogers, Mills, and Wells. They will look to get around William Brock, get their lap back, and hope for a quick yellow. Everybody else, are they planning for a short run or planning for a long run? We gave you the top 5 off of pit lane. 6 is going to be JT Bryant, Matt McIntyre 7th, 8th Anthony McCurry, 9th Andrea Serra, and Dave Campos, who started dead last in this race, by the way. He's now up to 10th. Jessica Shelton, Stephen Colon, Bruno Harumi, Daniel Bouchard, and Ryan Braumer. That's the top 15. Then Vince Almarigo, Zachary Fitzwater, Diego Yepes, Nathan Ormond, and William Micros. That is the top 20. Last 2 drivers on the lead lap in 21st and 22nd are Chris Dollerton and R.J. Bishop. They made repairs to their cars, have returned back to the racetrack. Only time will tell if they are up to speed or not. William Brock, ready to get us back under the green as he heads into the restart zone. And we may be going 3 wide here. Zach Rogers wants to get his lap back. Drives it deep on Charles Belding, the teammate. 4 wide with JT Bryant putting 2 wheels down below the yellow line, which is legal. And Rogers gets his lap back, at least for now. Now he'd love to see a yellow flag come out because he'd be back in the tail end of the lead lap. Whoa, we nearly had one there. Contact between, I think that was Stephen Pollard III and Danny Wells off of turn 4. Oh, they're sliding up there, leaning. Allie Rain almost got put in the wall by Anthony McCurry, and now there's a wreck. Shelton hard into the wall, and the track is blocked up on the back straightaway. Big pile up as Zachary Fitzwater piles in. Sean Hart is in it. Chris Dollerton is smoking, leaving the scene. As Bradley Rhyme led us back to the green flag, I'm being told the 48 of William Brock was hit with a black flag on that restart. So this caution saves him from having to serve it under green. Matt McIntyre in the 27 is all torn up. There's Brock serving his penalty. Allie Rain's coming down in the 65. I believe that she, along with Jessica Shelton, were some of the first that were at the beginning of that wreck. Did Zach Rogers get his lap back? I think he did. Yes, he did. He was ahead of the leaders when the caution came out, so he's back in the lead lap. That's a tough break there for Sean Hart. I believe all 3 of the Evans Gardner Motorsports cars were collected up in this one. The 12, the 95, and the 65. And none of the leaders coming down pit road that time. I don't know if pits were open for the leaders or not. I believe it was. But that's one of the tough things about the back straightaway here at ISM is that you've got an outside wall and then you've got an inside wall separating pit lane from the racetrack. And so when a wreck takes place, the track just completely gets blocked up. One of our former winners here, Jessica Shelton, was definitely collected up in this one. See if we can find a decent camera angle to find out just exactly how this started. And they were, I think, 5 wide. Matt McIntyre gets squeezed up into the wall. NNSCRA in the 99 got a piece. Ryan Braumer able to squeak on by. Vince Almriego was involved. Diego Yepes, I think, was involved. Nathan Ormond. There's where Fitzwater comes in, flies in, and clobbers his teammate. RJ Bishop might have just been able to sneak through. William Micros in the 93 back there. You see him up against the outside wall. I don't know if he slowed down in time or not. He might have. Let's see if we can get another camera angle here. Let's see if the spectator cam gives us anything. Not sure if it will or not. Allie Rain was way up there in the marble, so she was dropping back. And yeah, if Shelton might have moved up, Art might have moved down, but it was just 4 and 5 wide. There's just not going to work there off that corner. Daniel Bouchard got a piece in the 39 car, so add him to the list. William Micros was into the back of Zachary Fitzwater, so he got a little bit of it. And then watch the 2 of RJ Bishop. I think he got through. I think Bishop got through unscathed, and then Dollerton comes flying in, nails Jessica Shelton, and so a lot of damage for both of those cars, and the garage area is piling up now. We're getting into the second half of this race. Drivers are finding track position more and more important and forcing the issue more and more. And what was just 2 cars in the garage area about 10 laps ago is now a total of 7 cars in the garage area. Add to the list Nathan Ormond, Chris Dollerton, Zachary Fitzwater, Sean Arndt, and Jessica Shelton. So S3 Motorsports' chance of going 80% win ratio here at ISM in the Duracell Cup Series is now on the shoulders of Stephen Pollard III, who will roll off 3rd on this restart, behind JT Bryant and race leader Bradley Rhyme. Anthony McCurry and Stephen Colon, they're going to make up the completion of the top 5. Dave Campos, Andrea Serra, Ryan Braumer, Bruno Harumi, and RJ Bishop. That is now the top 10. William Brock came down, served his black flag, I do believe. He's going to be restarting back in the 13th position. And Zach Rogers got his lap back there, being ahead of the leaders and the caution coming out. He's going to restart on the lead lap in the 15th spot. We'll see if he can work his way back up to the front. Daniel Bouchard and William Brock have led the most laps so far today, 12 laps apiece. Stephen Pollard III has led 7. Jose Mills has led 7. Race leader Bradley Rhyme about to lead his 7th lap as he brings us back to the green flag. Jose Mills not able to get as good a restart this time as Zach Rogers did last time. Not able to get his lap back, at least for the time being, as they're 4 wide back there. Stephen Colon. Oh, Anthony McCurry put in the wall, but he kept it straight. McCurry and Pollard making some contact. And now the caution's out. I don't know if it was for that or not. I didn't see any caution lights on. Was there another incident? No, I think they brought it out for that reason, which I don't understand. And now Brock's going to be on pit lane again, serving that penalty. So apparently when he had the black flag, he had to serve the penalty under green. And when the caution came out, it didn't count for him serving the penalty. So I believe he was on pit lane before that caution came out. He should actually be serving it now. We'll follow up on that one in just a moment. But did they throw the caution for the McCurry incident? We'll have to go back. We'll have to go back and look. If they did, I'm a little bit surprised, because I thought that McCurry saved it, as did Pollard. Maybe there was another incident that we didn't see, but I don't believe so. Okay, let's look at this here from the aerial view and see if this would have warranted a caution flag coming out or not. Was it because the 55 really slowed to try and gather it back up? That was Belding kind of forcing McCurry up into Pollard. Now watch right here. At that point, they're both still facing the right direction, but you can see the caution light is on. So apparently that was the reason the yellow flag flew. Not sure if I agree with that one. Not sure if I agree with the caution coming out for that incident. But NSRA officials felt that it was caution worthy. There was a number of drivers still behind in case a wreck took place. They wanted to have the cars slowing. So that caution comes out, and we get ready now for yet another restart. Interesting that under the last 2 yellow flags, our race leaders have not come down pit road again. Now, I didn't find that all that peculiar in the beginning of the race, because obviously you want to keep the track position. You don't want to be back in traffic, back where a lot of our big wrecks have taken place so far. But now I'm wondering, are we good to make it on fuel? Because last 2 cautions, none of our front runners have come down pit lane. And if they needed fuel, there's no doubt in my mind that, especially if not last caution, this caution, we would have seen them down pit road to not only take on that fuel, but get some fresh tires. Now, just a reminder again for everybody that next week is the 6th race of the Duracell Cup Series at the concrete half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway. The paved version of Bristol Motor Speedway will, of course, be at the dirt-covered version of the world's fastest half-mile later on in the year, closer towards the end of the regular season. Next week's Bristol race next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the second time that we see the Tri-Terry drivers for these respective teams getting ready to take the green flag. We're actually going to have another debuting driver next week, of course, as well, with Zachary Taylor in the 95 car out of Evans Gardner Motorsports, which in the first 2 races has had a bit of up and down. Good run last week for Cody Smart. Good performance here today for Sean Arndt, but it ends back in the garage area in a 25th finishing position. We'll have 21 drivers running with 18 on the lead lap, and I'm being told that William Brock's penalty still has to be served. He did not hit the commitment cone before the yellow flag came out, so Brock will still have to be down pit lane this next time by when the green flag flies. Bradley Rhyme out of Lake Effect Autosport looking to get Ford their 2nd win on the season. JT Bryant looking to get Toyota their 4th. And the highest running Chevrolet is Anthony McCurry back in the 5th position. They're still looking for their 1st win on the season in the Duracell Cup Series. Lap 55 about to go on the board here at ISM. Green flag flies once again. We're starting to see a little bit of sunlight creeping there above the clouds, but the sun is starting to set as well, so may not change the track conditions. Tight off of turn 2 with Dave Campos trying to get to the inside of Charles Belding, the lap machine. It's going to cost him a couple of spots as JT Bryant gets forced way up the racetrack from Stephen Colon. Jose Mills has gotten his lap back from Bradley Rhyme. Danny Wells looking to do the same. If he can, these guys want to see a caution. They want to get back in the lead lap like Zach Rogers was able to do, and they may get one here. McCurry gets put in the wall again, this time off the nose of JT Bryant. 2nd time that Anthony McCurry has been forced up the track off of 2. This time the hit into the wall, much harder than last time. And the yellow flag is going to fly once more. Jose Mills got himself back on the lead lap as he was ahead of Bradley Rhyme when the caution flag came out. And Anthony McCurry has got to be hot inside that race car, because that is the 2nd time that he has been put up into the outside wall from other drivers underneath him. He's not been given the room. It was a 4 wide, and I believe Ryan Braumer might have been the car that forced the issue. So we'll go back and take a look at what happened. 7th caution of the day. We're also going to go back and see if William Brock was able to surf his penalty under green or not, or did the caution come out and thwart it again. I'm still seeing a black flag showing on the 48 car. So we'll look at the incident, and then we will go back and see about the timing of the caution there for William Brock. I don't know if it's a case that William Brock has to clear his penalty before the caution comes out or if he just has to hit the commitment line. But here it was. It was NNSCRA in the 99 that was to the inside of Anthony McCrory. And, well, I thought Ryan Braumer was to Sarah's inside, but no, Sarah just pushed up the track. McCrory hard hit into the wall. Gets a hit there from Stephen Pollard III as well in the passenger side door. And it was JT Bryant, wrong place, wrong time, that got squeezed up into the wall courtesy of the 55. So McCrory, who looked like he had a strong car, now with some front end damage. A lot of damage on that right front as well. And you can see on the right side of his machine kind of pancaked in. He'll be down pit lane to make repairs on his Chevrolet. Noticing a lot of drivers that are up there in the point stands are taking some hard hits, or some teams up there in the point stands, I should say, are taking some hard hits. All right, I want to see from that point where the caution flew. Okay, we're going to focus here on the pace car. Watch for the caution lights. Watch for the caution flag. There it is. Now, where's the 48 at this point in time? I believe he was already on pit lane, wasn't he? Yes, he was. So he already had made the commitment line. So his black flag should be cleared. He should be good to go now. But I think he may have very well lost a lap in that whole exchange. But he should no longer be a penalized race car. And it looks like, according to my telemetry, he did indeed get the black flag cleared. He made the commitment line before the caution came out. Black flag is no longer on the board for William Brock. But he has scored one lap down, along with Danny Wells and Charles Belding. So Brock, good news, doesn't have to serve the penalty anymore. Bad news, serving the penalty cost him a lap. So 18 drivers will be on the lead lap of 21 drivers when we go back green. Zach Rogers, who got his lap back the hard way, is now up to 10th. Jose Mills, who got his lap back the hard way under this yellow flag, will restart back in 18th. Anthony McCrory has returned back to the track, and he is currently in 17th place. So Danny Wells, Charles Belding, William Brock, they'll all try and see if they can get their laps back here in the closing stages, as we are nearing 20 laps to go at ISM. Bradley Rhyme, race leader. How about Dave Campus? Up in second place, trying to keep that number 8 Haas Racing team top of the standings. Stephen Colon going to restart in third. NNSCRA in fourth. And Ryan Braumer, the defending winner of this race, is now up to the 5th position. JT Bryant, right side damage, did not come down to repair it. He'll be 6th. Bruno Harumi in 7th. 8th place, Stephen Pollard III. He also did not come down to repair his car after he made the contact with Anthony McCrory. Diego Yepes and Zach Rogers. That's the top 10. As we get ready to go back green with what will be 21 laps left here at ISM Raceway. Three wide, looking 4 wide. Brock up the track into Belding. Got wicked loose, great save. And 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Ryan Braumer in the 31 car. Into Danny Wells, sends him up the racetrack. Braumer's looking for the race lead, and he doesn't want any traffic in front of him. We might be looking 4 wide again here into 1 and 2. Mike Gross, make that campus rather. Up into Danny Wells, and Wells is going to turn the 8 up into the air. Wells is up and over. Bouchard's involved. They're still wrecking further up. Ali Rain piles into this. JT Bryant, Stephen Pollard III. There's William Micros. There's NNSCRA. Vince Almeriego is around in turn 1, or turn 3 rather. Big wreck here at ISM. Bringing out the 8th caution of the day. Jose Mills was in that as well after just getting back on the lead lap. RJ Bishop was collected. Kind of a who's who of who wasn't collected in that one. And this one started with Dave Campus and Danny Wells, who were not battling for position. Wells was a lap down. But Dave Campus took maybe one of the wildest rides I've ever seen here at ISM. It was on the back straightaway. We talked about how with the two walls, the track will get blocked up. And it turned into two different wrecks, one coming out of turn 2 and one heading into turn 3. There's a lot to unpack in this one. As Almriego and Bouchard sit on pit road, most of the other drivers involved have already taken their cars back to the garage area. Let's take a look here and start with the initial contact between Danny Wells and Dave Campus. Can we get a decent camera shot here? I don't know. Belding kind of forcing Campus up the racetrack. Wells is there. And he's into the right rear quarter panel. Both cars glitch into the outside safer barrier. Come back down right in front of Jose Mills. Actually, Campus came down on top of Jose Mills. Ali Rain and Daniel Bouchard, nowhere for them to go. Look out, Matt McIntyre. He never slowed. Pyle drives the 65 up into the air. And you see the smoke lingering even further up ahead. That was the follow-up wreck, which I'm not sure if that even had anything to do with this wreck. I don't think it did. William Micros, I know, was involved in it, so let's see if we can focus on his car. Was this a follow-up wreck? No, JT Bryant gets turned by Bruna Harumi. Andrea Serra trying to save it. She comes up into William Micros. Pollard nowhere to go. Almriego nowhere to go. Here comes RJ Bishop into the smoke. He's not going to make it through, and I believe that was Anthony McCurry in the 55. Yep, you see right there. He's going to get around on the outside. So it was actually two wrecks that took place there. Danny Wells into Dave Campus, and then JT Bryant getting turned by Bruna Harumi. And it all culminated into two big pileups that stretched the entire back straightaway. And as I said, most drivers involved have already taken their cars back behind the wall. Others sat on pit lane trying to get damage repaired. And the fallout from this takes RJ Bishop, Jose Mills, Danny Bouchard, Dave Campus, Ali Rain, Matt McIntyre, and Danny Wells back behind the wall, and leaves us with 14 drivers left to finish this out, 12 of them on the lead lap. Belding and Brock, the only drivers one lap down, and they're going to leave ISM with top 15 finishes, regardless of what happens the remainder of this race. We are now at less than 20 to go. Only at 10 or less will we have the lap machines intermingle with the lead lap cars. The survivors of this race are as follows. Bradley Rhyme, the leader. Ryan Braumer, second. Stephen Colon, third. Bruna Harumi, fourth. Diego Yepes in fifth. Sixth, Zach Rogers. Seventh, Anthony McCurry. Eighth, JT Bryant. Ninth, Stephen Pollard the third. 10th, William Micros. And then 11th and 12th are Andrea Serra and Vince Almriego. You would think with 14 drivers that we will run green to the end, but I'm not so certain about that. We'll see. We've worked 8 cautions so far for 32 laps. The green flag back in the air on lap 67. 15 laps to go here at ISM. And we're already looking possibly 3 wide, maybe 4 wide into 1 and 2 again. That's Stephen Colon forcing the issue with the lap machines of Brock and Belding. He'll complete the pass around them, though, and now sets his sight on the top 2. Bruna Harumi trying to get around the lap machines also in that 21 car. How about Lake Effect Autosport here today? Give them a shout out with their 2 young drivers. First and third for Rhyme and Cologne, with Ryan Braumer the defending winner, the book in between the 2 bookends, if you will. Bruna Harumi still trying to get around William Brock, the lap car. She's under fire from Zach Rogers. That's for 4th. Diego Yepes and Anthony McCurry, they're mixing it up for the 6th position. As we may only have 3 drivers battling it out for this win as things run right now. Bruna Harumi and Zach Rogers, they've got the speed to get up there, but do they have the time as they're still having to make their way around the 48 of William Brock. Stephen Colon trying to take the pressure off his teammate. He took a peek to the inside of Ryan Braumer, nothing doing this time. Now he's to the inside, arced it very nicely through the center of 1 and 2. Can he keep the momentum up into 3 and 4? Drives it deep into turn 3. Braumer gives him the space. Braumer looking for the exit off of the corner. Not going to happen. Short way around the racetrack there. Way inside in the front straightaway. Colon, will he try the slide job here into 1 and 2? He's not clear yet. Now he is. He'll slot into the second spot. Bradley Rhyme has led 28 laps of this event. Stephen Colon has led none. It might come down between the teammates out of Lake Effect Autosport here at ISM. Ryan Braumer trying to play spoiler though. When he picked up the victory last year, it was in a Dodge for Bulldog Motorsports. Now he's moved over to Pigeon Racing, a team that is 25th in the overall standings. Ryan Braumer looking to be a back-to-back winner here in the desert. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of teams that are really going to be smiling when they leave here today if they continue to run where they are. The 74 team is 23rd in points. The 47 team is 20th in points. We mentioned just now the 31 team is 25th in the standings. The 6 team running in 5th, they're currently 24th in the points. So there are a lot of teams that are really going to jump through the point standings if they keep the runs going that they're currently on. 8 to go here at ISM with Bradley Rhyme hitting the start-finish line. Top 3 nose to tail. Then about 4 car lengths back to the lap car of William Brock, who right now, first car 1 lap down, is in the 13th position. Runa Harumi trying to get around him as she currently runs 9/10 of a second off the race leader. Oh, 47 up the track. I think the 74 clipped the apron and checked up his own teammate. Ryan Braumer is going to take advantage. He gets to the inside of Cologne for the runner-up spot. And we may have traffic to deal with before all is said and done. As I believe that's Vince Almriego in the 0-1, not too far up ahead. He just now is heading into turn number 1. There's the race leaders behind him, barreling down at a tremendous rate of speed. Now if they catch him, it's a question of where they catch him and how quickly Bradley Rhyme can put him in the rearview mirror. Battle for second is finally over. Ryan Braumer, now Stephen Colon back to the inside. This is bringing Bruna Harumi into this mix. So it'll be a 3, maybe a 4-man fight for that runner-up spot. Zach Rogers may enter into the vicinity. Bradley Rhyme going to get to the inside of Vince Almriego. Very quickly makes the pass, puts him in the rearview mirror, and now Ryan Braumer's in the wrong place, stuck behind the 0-1. Cologne's going to go to the second spot. Harumi's going to move into third. So Ford Mustangs will go 1, 2, 3 with less than 5 to go. Four laps remaining here as Bradley Rhyme holds about 3.5 car lengths back to Stephen Colon. See a little bit of right side damage, right front damage there on the Walmart Ford, so I don't know if that's affecting the speed for Stephen Colon or not as he tries to reel in his teammate. Bruna Harumi still dealing with William Brock, but now she's up to the 3rd spot. Ryan Braumer, the biggest loser on the exchange when they caught Almriego. He lost a spot to Harumi, lost a spot to Rogers, and now under fire from Diego Yepes. That would be for 6th. Boy, Stephen Colon rather, driving it deep there. Into 1 and 2, closed up the gap. Slow car up ahead again, another car. I believe that might be the 99 of Andrea Serra. It is indeed, and they will catch her before this race is over. 2 to go that time. Is it going to be Bradley Rhyme or is it going to be Stephen Colon? The odds look good for a Lake Effect Autosport victory. It's just which team is going to get it. Well, last week at Atlanta, it was a caution-filled race, but it was an exciting finish. Looks like it's going to be deja vu here at ISM. The white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Bradley Rhyme looks to the inside of Andrea Serra, completes the pass. So too does Stephen Colon. He's on the back bumper of his teammate for the race lead, the race win. He'll have one more shot here. Down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4. Cologne's within striking distance. Does he drive it deep into 3? Up to the back bumper goes Stephen Cologne, but he's not going to be able to get there. Bradley Rhyme is going to get his first career win, the Duracell Cup Series, here today at ISM. 1-2 finish for Lake Effect Autosport here today. Both teams going to get some very good points, as both were outside the top 15 in points coming into this race. And Bradley Rhyme adds his name to the list of drivers that have taken a checkered flag in the Duracell Cup Series. It's kind of ironic here as well. We talked, the last 2 seasons, including this season as well, about Phil Parker trying to get his first career win in the second entry out of Lake Effect Autosport. And in only 2 starts, Bradley Rhyme has gotten his first career win in the 74 car. Standing should be official. Only 14 drivers crossing the start-finish line to complete this race. And here they are. Bradley Rhyme with the wins. Stephen Cologne in second. It's the first 1-2 finish for a team here in Season 5. And it's a 1-2-3 for Mustangs as Bruno Harumi brings it home in the final podium spot. Zach Rogers, that's a comeback run for him. He was a lap down, got his lap back the hard way, battles back for 4th. Diego Yepes is going to complete the top 5. Ryan Braumer dropped back, but will finish in 5th. Anthony McCurry will finish in 6th. I'm going to have to look here. That 55 team might be the points leaders heading into next week. I'll take a look in a moment here. Stephen Pollard III, though, brings home in 8th. JT Bryant was the last car on the lead lap, finishing in 9th. 10th place was Andrea Serra, first car 1 lap down. William Brock brings home in 11th. Charles Belding, 12th. Vince Almriego was 13th. And William Micros was the last car to finish in the 14th position. Everybody else back in the garage area after we worked 8 cautions here today. 2 of them were big ones. Bishop will get 15th. Mills in 16th. Bouchard, Campus, Rain, and McIntyre the top 20. Danny Wells, 21st. Nathan Norman, 22nd. 23rd. Chris Dollerton, 24th. Zachary Fitzwater. Sean Art in 25th. 26th. Jessica Shelton, 27th. Tristan Allen. And Trent Dunham in the 28th position. Right now, if I look at the calculations, the 55 team was 6 points, behind Pigeon Racing's number 19 coming into this one, and they finished 5 positions ahead of the 19 car in this race. So I believe that it is going to be Pigeon Racing's number 19 at the top of the point stand by 1 point over Gunther Motorsports 55. It'll be interesting to see where the 8 team, the 93 team, where they're going to be after all is said and done, as well as the 27 and the 1 teams, with both of them finishing out of the race. 27 team with McIntyre finishing in 20th and Trent Dunham, first car to the garage area, in 28th. Those were 2 teams that came into this race 5th and 6th respectively in the standings. So there's going to be a lot of moving and shaking again up inside of the top 10 all the way down through the top 25 in the point standings, as a lot of drivers outside the top 20 had good runs here today. And the points are still really close coming into this race, with it being early on in the season. So it'll be really interesting to see what the outlook is when we get ready for Bristol next week. But congratulations to Bradley Rhyme on the victory here today. I believe that makes him the 3rd first-time winner on the season. Yes, indeed. So we are definitely, with all these rookies, seeing some drivers step to the forefront of, hey, I may be a rookie in this series, but I've got experience, and I want to make sure that my team is going to be in the hunt for the playoffs and the hunt for that championship. So the 74 team is now currently sitting in a playoff spot, courtesy of Bradley Rhyme, who, along with Stephen Cologne, gets Lake Effect Autosport a 1-2 finish here today at ISM Raceway. Thank you all for tuning in to today's race, I should say, at Phoenix Raceway. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We're coming off 2 races that have been filled with cautions, and I think next week will be no different, because we're going to the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. Second race of the season for the Tri-Terry drivers of the respective teams, and we'll get ready to see what that concrete half-mile racetrack is going to bring to the table in terms of the regular season and possibly the outlook for the playoffs. That'll be next Saturday with the green flag scheduled to fly at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, congratulations to Bradley Rhyme on the victory. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.